Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another working title sports show wherein the old becomes new again, and we have the run back of Super Bowl, wherein we have the Eagles going up against the Chiefs. And this is
This is
funny.
this is what we wanted. This is
Hey,
what we
look, look,
fans
look, look, look,
wanted.
look, look, look. Two things came out of this. On one hand, look, it's not that we have hate, but there is a sort of as the great Stephen, George Lucas says, it's like poetry, it rhymes. And if you're a Cowboys fan, you love to see the miserableness of the Washington football team. And
It's
we
it's
said,
weird, Chris. It is so weird. It is something very deep within us that we don't like admitting because we're here from Washington D.C. And Chris, you're a lot nicer than me, but I was being 100,000% true to my word. Years ago, before we started the show, me and Chris, we went to a bar to see a very legendary game. It was between the Cowboys and the Redskins. Whoever wins this was going to go to the playoffs. But what made this so special was that it was RG3's, probably in my opinion, maybe his best game as an NFL player. He not only played through an injury, but he annihilated any hope that the Dallas Cowboys had. Now, us Cowboy fans, we knew if we made the playoffs, we were going to get swept right out because we was broken down ourselves. We didn't have much of a we wouldn't have much of
we
anything.
leapt to the
going
finish line going into playoffs that year. It
Oh
was
my
like,
God. It was like, you ever see somebody fall down, bust a knee, and immediately get up and act like nothing happened? That's
Yeah.
what happened to us. We knew we knew we weren't going to do much. But what really turned it, but like I said, that whole game was historic for Washington D.C. reasons, was because they finally got their black quarterback. And not only is a black quarterback, but he's going to lead this team to the glory land. And it's one of the things that I dislike, but I understand where they come from when it comes to Redskin fans. See, a lot of people in DC, especially during that time, especially if you have roots in the city, Doug Williams made everybody in this city feel good that they were black. They made everybody in this city feel 1,000 times taller. The whole spiel, you know what I mean? Everything that you feel when you see a black person in that position do something excellent. From Barack Obama to Lewis Hamilton to the nigga that got out the hood and now he's a general manager over at the BJ's up the street. We like seeing black people do great things.
Sounds very specific.
But you see what I just had to throw. It could have been any store. I was trying to figure out what would be the great store to really talk about. I was like, not BJ's. I was going to say Dick's. I was going to say Dick's Sporting Goods.
BJ's is the lesser of the warehouse grocery stores.
It is. I think BJ's is on the bottom rung. I'm pretty sure there's one on the West Coast that is just like BJ's.
Like, what people don't understand.
Hey.
In the Waldorf area, there is a Costco and Brandywine. We kind of say Brandywine is sort of it's Charles County, even though because it's hitting at that line, but whatever, right? So you have Costco, Sam's Club in Waldorf, and BJ's is at the other end of Waldorf before you hit La Plata, right? I don't know anybody that has a BJ's membership.
There's a BJ's right here up the street from me, approximately
there's a BJ's
1 mile from me.
Yeah, there's a BJ's over
Here's
there.
the fun part about that. Black people. What do you mean I need a membership card?
Oh, man, I can't shop here.
Every single day. I know that Sam's Club get that. I know that Costco get that. But
Costco have you fucking going through like his TSA now and shit. You got to beep your damn card.
At BJ's is one of the most bottom level Negro things ever.
I need a
membership card. What, you trying to get all my information? You know how black people who constantly give away their information all of a sudden gets, hey, whoa. Give my name to the government? You give your name to the government? Shut up, bro.
Hey, these are the people that go to Safeway and they be like, I need a club card. No, you're fine. It's just you just pay regular price. You ain't paying the discount price. So
the one I get every time is somebody. So this is gonna take some money off. Everybody is going to take money off.
That is fair. That is a fair statement, to be fair.
That's fair. I'm not mad at
but going back to it, though, like, there is something to be said about, like, RG3 was, like, the golden goose that Washington had. And he proudly beat the shit out of the fucking Cowboys. and they go into the playoffs. But the downside was when they went to that game, Dallas, in tackling RG3, I forgot what player it is. He tackled him and hit his knee.
It wasn't Brady. It wasn't Brady James. It wasn't Brady James.
It was one of the
it was one of the interior linebackers. Might have been Singletary. I don't remember.
All I know is
it was one of them that took that knee out.
Hit his knee, and his knee buckled the opposite way, and he was on the ground. What ended up happening was they were like, well, it doesn't look that bad, but we're going to, observe it. We may not play him for that first game against Green Bay. We'll probably have Kirk Cousins play, yada, yada, yada.
Sir.
Everybody in this area freaked out like, oh, my God, we're going to lose. I'm like, you got Kirk Cousins. That's your other number one fucking quarterback pick in the first round you got. So what are we talking about here? Like, because the reality is, as much as RG3 was good, the run game was just nasty as shit. So if you put Kirk Cousins in, just get Kirk Cousins to pass the ball off. Done. Right? Nah. Put RG3 in.
What had happened was a flashpoint that happened. What happened? No, seriously, it was one of those when you look back on it was a flashpoint moment because when he got hurt, they could have easily took him out and still beat the Cowboys. They could have easily still beat us, but they chose to keep him in the game off of some Madden BS, thinking that don't worry, I'm gonna make my quarterback gut it. Do you know how many times I have did it? I have no respect for video games, Chris. You know how many times that I said, nah. I'm going to force my player to be the superstar and the game go, cool. Either he get hurt, or in my favorite one, because I play baseball all the time, 5-game slump. You ain't hitting nothing. Yeah, you trying to get a home run. Nah. Pink, pop, fly. Pink, pop, fly.
That's how it is.
But anyway, they tried to do that. And at that point, every decision they made with RG3 from that point on pretty much sold up his whole destiny here in Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. Now, let's skip to a full almost 15 years later. And here we are with Jayden Daniels. And Jayden Daniels have one of the best seasons ever that any rookie could actually dream for here in D.C. Yeah, and to the point, Chris, like I told you, I remember at that day, I told everybody, hey, if y'all make it past the Buccaneers, I'm rooting for y'all to go to the Super Bowl. Yeah. That never fucking happened. Irony happens that the Redskins have to meet my boy.
That's the thing about that.
Baker was full Baker in that game. This wasn't my beast. This ain't Himothy. This was Baker.
Here's the sick part about that game.
Bad for the Bucks.
But here's the thing. Even with that, the Bucks were still in the game. That's the
they
sick
had
part.
Chances. They had
and it goes into
chances.
And it goes into something. And Washington fans, they wouldn't believe me. I said, you guys have been y'all, when it comes to against good teams that actually play complete ball top to bottom with barely any mistakes, you lose. What did I get pushed back on? No, man, things have changed. I'm like, no, the season showed you guys. The season showed you
different this year.
Now, granted, they got fooled themselves when they beat Detroit, which shocked the fuck out of me because I thought Detroit was gonna bully.
Who told you that? Who told you? Whoever Detroit plays, they getting their teeth pushed.
I did not think it was that. I did not think it was gonna be that bad, dog.
Chris, I knew when they had.
They almost put a 50 burger on Detroit.
They almost put a 50 burger on Detroit. I was like, McLaurin and JD are going to eat them alive, and I was actually right. The defense is good too. Now, yes, granted, the whole defense was out. Hutchinson was hurt. I think pretty much 10% of your offense was out too.
But Detroit's QB became the QB that we know and love of him. So, hey, it is what it is.
I mean,
but you know what? Even if he did do it, you know what I mean?
If he had a good game, Chris,
would you
know? Jared Goff gets
Jared Goff been Jared Goff.
He's been Jared Goff for a while now. And he's been coasting on the fact that Amon-Ra St. Brown actually has been grabbing shit out the air. He's been obviously hiding behind that everybody like Dan Campbell. He's been hiding behind the fact that he has been
he won that ring with the Rams, and it was like, oh shit, Jared Goff is the
Man,
guy.
you are B-rated, bro. You sure it was Jared Goff that won that? Hey, Jared Goff
Because you remember the Rams won twice. The first time they won it with Goff, and then remember they traded him when they didn't make it the second. No, remember they traded Goff, and that's when everybody freaked out. Like, why the fuck are you trading Goff when he was?
Jared Goff didn't win one. I know he didn't win one. I can't be right. I got to be right with that one. This nigga did not win a Super Bowl. You got it wrong. I know what you're thinking about, though. No, he got traded before. He got traded, and they got Matthew Stafford over him, and Matthew Stafford won. See,
that was the one that was kind of baffled because I'm like, I like Matt Stafford. Why?
You know what you're crossing hairs with? You know what you're crossing hairs with? The person that won the Super Bowl for the Eagles the first time. That was Nick Foles. You get Nick Foles. Big Dick Nick. The Nick Foles thing throws everything around, bro. I know.
But anyways, it kind of throws everything off. They bullied Detroit, and it put question marks on like Philly. Understandably so, because what's his face got injured. I don't know if it was concussed or it was his knee. His knee got injured when they played Green Bay. So there was question marks on that because Washington beat the shit out of Detroit, and it was like, oh fuck, Washington might beat the Eagles. Here's when I knew the game was over against the Eagles and Washington. Washington's first drive, 7 minutes to kick 3 points. 18 seconds to the Eagles drive. Touchdown. Saquon. I was like, oh, this game is over.
All right. Now, I seen all that later, but I saw that for me, it was like this. I'm not going to watch the first quarter. I'm at work. It don't matter. So finally, I hear somebody chiming up about the game. You know what? Let's look at the game. We finally pull up the game. It's already 21-10. Or 23-10, something like that.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, hey, yo, Washington, you've been doing it all season. All you simply got to do, stand up, bend your knees a little bit, reach up under your butthole and pull that win out because you did it all season. What, you're not grabbing on to nothing? Oh, no.
They had a sliver of a moment where they got a touchdown and got it close, and then Saquon was like, bitch, you thought. Touchdown. It's like, well,
they got that. What was it? It was like they got it back on. They got it back over on downs. They actually took a good amount of time.
They stopped the Eagles twice, so it was like, all right, they might got something.
Yeah, and they end up scoring, and I was thinking like, okay, maybe you can get something out of this. I don't like it's a game because I remember saying it. And first off, I make a very big shout out to 2 of the people, and sometimes 3 of the people. And that's our boy Andre and our boy Brian. They always talk to us. I'm trying to really do some stuff in the third person. Denzel, when he wants to pipe up, how you doing, Denzel? I'm always glad to hear their response back for shit like this because we was all talking about it. It was so funny. Dre put up, it's a game.
2 seconds later.
2 seconds later. 2 seconds later, I see 2 messages from Chris. I'm like,
here's the sick part. The best meme that came out of this game was like Jaden Daniels looking at his receivers fumble the ball, and it was the picture of that Indian dude like this. I was like, yep, because what killed Washington was 3 fumbles. 3 fumbles, and the funniest shit ever that had all of us on Blue Sky laughing was my man fucking offsides encroaching like 5 times in a row, and the ref was like, hey boy, if you do this again, we're gonna get them points. All right,
it's what I call good old, that's good NFC's football.
No, granted, all right, this game, but yeah, when that happened, I was like, this is just comedy at this point, right?
And then, but here's the joke, and this is where you know, you and me, Chris, us degenerates, a team that truthfully we're very, very angry at, and we cannot stand the owner. But it's times like this where we go.
I mean, you know,
they put 50 on y'all niggas.
They didn't have to, but they did with a backup running back at that. A white boy that gassed out at the fucking 2-yard line.
You know what? I can laugh at that shit because as a Cowboy, you're like, woo, could be us. Oh, whoa! Where's
hey.
the times that we have been dry doo-doo on the side of the road, bro, and we still didn't let Philly drop 50 on us, bro.
The two times that we lost to 49ers, close games, but we lost in the stupidest of fashions.
Dumb fashion, Mike McCarthy going, Jerry, can I be a coach now? Well, I guess you can. And all of a sudden we get this jolt of energy.
The worst time, but at least the 49ers didn't put 50 on us. It was like, at least the 49ers gave us hope that we could either tie the game into overtime or at least win the game, But this was just like, y'all didn't even try. Y'all just you're gonna let the fucking Rudy, the white running back that looked like Rudy, fucking almost fucking run for a touchdown, and he gassed out and shit. Like, that's what we're doing.
I am shocked of. I will say this. Bravo on the Redskins for having a very good season. A very good season. I really always
on you now.
Yes, they do. This is going to be really interesting next season. I'm not talking trash for next season because, oh God, we'll get there in one second.
Yeah.
But when I'm looking at the Redskins, the way they had the season, y'all was supposed to be 8-8 to me, and y'all did way better. Terry McLaurin should be a superstar at this point in the NFL. They're not recognizing him. I say you keep killing them until they figure it out. And JD, I am very interested to see how your second season goes, because. And this is coming from somebody that's coming to the actual. This is coming from somebody that realized last season that I don't have an A class, I have a B class quarterback. We will really see what you are in these next 2 years.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And personally, as a person that's seen you come out of LSU, I hope you're still a monster. I really do. Granted, I really do. But at the same time, you know how petty the NFL can be. You know how hard and how reality check the NFL can be. So good luck, bro.
Also, Dan Snyder kind of put a curse on him because that motherfucker, that Saturday, he came out and was feeling some way that he had to sell the team. I'm like, Dan, shut the fuck up, bro. Like, you mad that you had to sell the team? Like, really? Really?
Not only that, he was like, I think we would have had the same success if I were still. Dan, don't you start. Let me tell you something. Everybody, some Redskin fans who wanted to know, why are you rooting for us? Number one, I have lived in the city all my life. And number two, I seen the hell that y'all have been through. And so much so that I know other Cowboy fans that live in DC that we shake our heads in disgust of what Daniel Snyder has done to y'all team. Even us, because we live here, we're like, why would you do? You know what I'm saying? The nonsense that he always had around that team, and we're happy for y'all. Like, a lot of us are really happy for you. Was I rooting against y'all? Not necessarily. Let me make that very clear. Oh, I have been waiting for y'all to lose for a minute. But at the same time, I'm not going to be like, ooh. I'm not doing that. I'm not in the business of doing that shit. Next season, I don't know how much sympathy you're going to get from me if y'all go on another run like this.
All I'm saying is
this run to me was actually very special. And in a weird type of way, I'm glad a lot of kids in the area got to see this shit. Because the last time we seen the city like this was 1992. I came out
of MagFest at the Harbor, National Harbor, by the way, right? So MagFest was shutting down at the Gaylord, right? I'm walking out the hotel or walking downstairs to where National Pastime used to be. It's a new restaurant. There was a line of Washington Commanders fans lined up to get inside this place. There was a couple of Eagles fans sprinkled in there, but it was a ton of Washington fans to go into that bar. When I walk outside the National Harbor, Cadillac Ranch, and all the other places, all I saw was Washington jerseys. I gotta imagine every other place that we know, like the restaurants around the DC area, probably the same.
I want to know the classy hood joint that everybody likes going to around here. I wonder how Phil Jaspers was
I'm pretty sure
during the game.
Jaspers was ridiculous.
And you know how Jaspers is. Jaspers is made for everybody living in the DC area. Jaspers is made for, I would say, sedity niggas who are upper middle class to middle class people that really want to have a good time. Mm-hmm. And for whatever reason, you let your hood ass cousin in there every Saturday and somebody fighting outside. Or in the real bad sense, and this has been happening a few times over at Jaspers, somebody gets shot. Like, what's going on with y'all niggas with the gun? Y'all got money. Why y'all shooting each other? Anyway.
If it ain't MGM, it's Jaspers. One of them two spots.
MGM and Jaspers ain't got. Well, MGM, I expect that because that's where poor niggas go to feel like they rich. So I understand.
Jaspers is like.
I will tell you this: the Buffalo Wild Wings, the David Buster's, the Buffalo Wild Wings down the street from me. That they said all that around there was like. The joint, everybody was.
Yeah. Everybody is. I mean, but that's the thing.
And as somebody that went has been to a couple few Commanders / Redskins tailgates, I'm pretty sure it was lit. I'm pretty sure they was out in that parking lot having a good old time, man.
I know. Every place was probably there, and I sat back and I was like, I gotta know what was the mood when the Eagles were really busting them, because I know they were like quiet. Well, you did say it was quiet out on the streets.
I left because all right, I live in one of the busiest blocks in PG. I walk outside. Now, yes, the game is on. Ain't nobody loud. But at the same time, okay, better yet.
If roles were reversed, motherfuckers would have been out.
Let me make it very clear. Okay, good example of that, Chris. We keep PGC on in the store I'm at, right? Yeah. PGC stays on. That means that there's always this one dude. I don't know his name. You've been making music all season. Good for you. He always puts out a song, right? And he waited this year to do, he waited for this week to do the Kendrick song, They Not Like Us, but called it Why Not Us?
Yeah, I remember.
Let me tell you something. First off, let me tell you something. Redskin fans, stop that. Stop that. I'm so tired of y'all. Number two, I had to hear three different times of a song you made. Where's this victim mentality y'all got? Where it's like, why y'all hating on us? Shut up. Ain't nobody hating on y'all. Y'all the Redskins. Shut up. Anyway, so Chris, they played that song all morning. I stayed at work until like 7:00 that day. But they played that song all morning. The game comes on. They play it again. In the second quarter, they still playing it. Third quarter hits until the end of my shift. I didn't hear one song for the Redskins. But you know what I did hear? A whole lot of copium. That's what I heard. Hey, we had a good year. We weren't supposed to be here. I had to hear. Yeah. But you know why I didn't take that? You know why I didn't take that? And I know why you didn't take that? Because for anything that we had to do, if we lost by 3 points, if we didn't win good enough,
the memes,
y'all would have memed us to death. It would have been flying. But I can't come up to you and say, nigga, they put a 50 burger on. So you hating? No, I'm not. I'm stating fact.
The new one they got on us is, I guess now we reached the NFC Championship. Dallas hasn't reached the NFC Championship. And I'm like, I mean, that's fair.
I'm sorry. We're trying to get this fair. But check this out. Y'all didn't win nothing, so shut up.
Here's my retort to that.
Look, losers don't get to tell me what to do.
Here's my retort to that.
Then fine.
Here's my retort to that. The Cincinnati Bengals made the Super Bowl and haven't sniffed it since. What does it matter?
Y'all had Dan Quinn. And this is coming from
Dan Quinn did a good job this year. I ain't gonna lie.
This is coming from somebody that wanted Dan Quinn to be their coach. Okay? But I'm gonna say this right here. Did y'all really think y'all were gonna win a Super Bowl with that nigga?
to be fair, Dan Quinn.
I know that's mostly Atlanta. That's mostly the Atlanta curse, but still.
I will say this though. In the battle of who had more balls between Detroit and Washington, Dan Quinn won out.
Dan Quinn won the out. You know, he did
had more nuts than damn Campbell that game. I was like, well,
all right. So let's get this out the way. Yes, I did not put a picture of him because I don't care.
we got Marty Schottenheimer's son.
Brian Schottenheimer is now our offensive, not our offensive coach. God forbid, that would have been a little bit smart, but no, we made him the head coach. And Matt Eberflus is the defensive coach. Here's the sick part about this. D, who do you trust more, Eberflus or Schottenheimer? I say the bullet in the gun, but personally, I don't hate the Matt Eberflus hiring. He is not a bad DC. He's actually not a bad DC. His defenses are good. Yeah, he's gone. Yeah, because they got Eberflus and definitely he's
okay. I thought Eberflus was like a different coach underneath Zimmer.
No. Eberflus is taking all the way over. I don't think he's bad. I will say this. He's inheriting a decent defense minus Diggs next season because Diggs is going to be out next season.
Yeah.
But you're inheriting a decent defense. It took a while, but Dallas actually bought into a lot of the crap that Zimmer was actually trying to
takeaways during the latter half.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. They finally kind of bought into his system. So you're inheriting a decent defense. What can you do with it? That's all I can say. I am giving more leeway to Eberflus than Schottenheimer. Schottenheimer, I looked at your offense. Ain't none of them impressive to me.
No. Here's the thing. No. We're getting Schottenheimer. No. Here's the thing, D. And I'm actually before you see it. We're getting Schottenheimer because Jerry saw what he did with Russell Wilson in Seattle. Remember when he was up in Seattle, Russell was breaking all sorts of offensive records as a quarterback with Seattle.
I mean, sure,
and that was because of Schottenheimer. So, I mean, I get it. I totally get it.
So, Chris, I didn't like the offense that much last season. He was the offensive coordinator the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
You see my face. Really? And he was a passing coach at Jacksonville. Jacksonville won the
That was the Urban Meyer year, to be fair, so I can't put that on.
Yeah, that's not really his fault.
That's Urban Meyer. And funny thing, when he took over the last 4 games, Jacksonville actually got better when he was coaching them. Now, that could be because of Urban Meyer's school of coaching. So
he was a coordinator up in the Jets during the good side of the Mark Sanchez era. So
Chad Pennington.
That's it. I'm done. I have nothing. It's like here's the problem. You know what the real problem is? Jerry Jones still has a heartbeat. Number one.
But you hired a name. You didn't hire and I'm not knocking Schottenheimer, but you just got the Schottenheimer as a name just to say, hey, we got Brian Schottenheimer, yay. And it's like, but he ain't his dad. So, and I'm not expecting him to be his dad, but it's just Marty, put it this way, if Jerry would have hired Marty Schottenheimer, Marty would literally be bucking hard at Jerry. Brian doesn't give that off like his dad.
Oh, yeah, that would never happen. That would never. No. Brian seen his dad act like an asshole and get kicked out of every place he's been at. So he's not going to do what his dad did. No, for real. Marty Schottenheimer is an owner's worst nightmare. He really is.
I don't know, but is it okay? Let me ask you this. Do you think it's just because of his attitude, or is it just because of the owners just don't like him being controlled?
Owners being owners, and I think his attitude doesn't help a little bit either. There was a lot of things. Remember, he comes from a different era of coaches, so
because it could be because I felt so
like him no more.
Because it could be I felt some way about the fact that Washington didn't give him a chance, even though he gave him a good shot in the arm when he was coaching them. So it's like I kind of have sympathy for him to a point. So it's like, yeah, Schottenheimer
showed me, especially when he was with the Chargers, he really showed me that he is limited. He's actually good, but he's limited. Okay. He's not. I never seen him take a team all the way over.
They get to the playoffs, but then
they get there. They be a good, solid team, but they never get over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what the biggest problem with that. That's why everybody was mad at the Redskins, because it's like we didn't give Marty a chance to really show what he can do for the organization.
Yeah, they just went 8-8, and
That's
they
why
was like,
everybody
"You're
got mad.
fired," and it's like, "Damn, dude! Like he went 8-8. It's actually not bad. Like what the fuck?" And then fired. I'm like, "God damn."
And like I said, I really do wish that Jerry Jones would just let somebody do their job. Just wish, like my main thing. Do you know how much of a difference it will make if we just get a GM? I'm not saying that Jerry can't go down to the field and touch the players or sniff their
how's it
draws
going?
or whatever he wants to do. You know what I mean? Whatever he wants to do to feel like a big man, let him do it.
Just be
But
like
for
the
the
New
love of
England.
God, just give us a GM. That's all I ask.
Just be like the New England owner and just be like Robert Kraft and just come down to the field. Hey, what's going on, guys? And fuck off back to the owner's box. That's it. Like
I know
you
you
do
were gonna say, let's be like Jerry, be like Kraft. Like, well, see, Eric, see, Chris, Jerry want to be caught having sex with his prostitutes. That's the difference.
Fair. But nah, it's just
yeah,
but Cowboys Nation as a whole, these like the Schottenheimer hiring, all of us just had that look of like, sure. Like it's like we didn't feel one way or the other. There was no anger, but there was no praise. It was just like, sure, I guess. Because they couldn't come in agreement, because apparently they couldn't come to an agreement with I'm about to say McCaffrey. What's his face? God damn it. God, I'm not forgetting the coach's name. God damn it. Mike McCarthy. They couldn't come to a agreement with McCarthy because the whole big story of the season was like, oh, McCarthy actually got the team rolling going into the last games of the season. Hey, maybe this is his shot to get re-signed, and they couldn't get to an agreement.
Which is bullshit. I'm gonna keep it
mean,
real. It's BS.
You're right.
It's pure BS. Again, the Cowboys have the capital to do so.
Yeah,
they have it. They can do it if they want to, but they did.
Yeah.
Let's go Cowboys. Let's go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. But speaking of which,
so let's finish the second half of this by doing. Let me just put it out here before we get to the game. We told y'all what months with an S ago what was going to happen. So this was us.
Gotta give the boy points. He came all the way back from the dead to make this shindig happen. So, who's got a camera? Ooh, get one of me and the kid first. Then you and me, then the three of us.
See, I said it last year after the Super Bowl when Kansas City won, where actually it wasn't just me, it was a lot of us that was like, so Kansas City, what's your difficulty slider going to be going into the next season? It's been this season for Kansas City has been so all over the place. There have been multiple games, and we said it a couple of times on the episodes that Kansas City should have did the rights, lost, but like luck of the Irish and sometimes ref ball reared its head, and that's that. But to be fair, going into the playoffs, Project Pat showed the fuck up.
Project Pat is going to go down as the greatest quarterback of all time. I know there's a lot of people that ride the awesomely perfect Aryan penis of Tom Brady. You know, I had that playing all day, and I told myself, D, do not laugh when you say Aryan penis. And I laugh every time when I get to that.
When I saw that Houston game with Kansas City, and Pat was literally about to fall to the ground being sacked, and he threw the ball to a fucking wide open, what's his face, in the end zone. I was like, of course Patrick Mahomes can make that throw perfect. And he catches the fuck?
What got me in this game, Chris, was I didn't watch the games that I got home, but I finally got settled at home, right? And I turned on the game. Pat, they're not even at goal yet. They're not even at first and goal yet. He right there. Pat go, hey, get the ball out, rolls to the left. Fuck it, I'm darting right up the middle. These darts right up the middle. Yoink, bop. And I mean, just big dog, big nuts type of run. You know what I mean? And then the best part, he goes for 2, downs at Hunt. And he throws it so hard. You hear it hits you. I think it was Worthy. I think you hear him dead. You heard it hit him in the numbers. Because you heard a pip. I'm like, woo, woo.
That was a bullet.
I was like, that's game. I was like, that's game. It's not the fourth quarter, but that was actually the dagger.
I feel so bad for Josh Allen. Now, I will say this. There was a ref ball moment that happened. And I know
there was two. There was 2 of them.
The one that to me was controversial, and I understand it. Did Josh Allen get first down or not? I felt he got first down. I felt he got
I thought he didn't.
The rest could have gave it to him, and I wouldn't even complain. I've been like, you know what? Fuck it. He got it. But here's the shit. Here's the sick part. If he got the first down, let's say Buffalo got the touchdown, I think Kansas City still would have won the game. It would have been some fucking Patrick Mahomes nonsense that would have happened.
You're not lying, because I thought because the way he backed into it, I just didn't see enough of the body going over. It's
like the
weird.
ball, you couldn't tell where it was at because he had it so tucked in. So it's like,
this is one of those decisions where I can't go all the way ref ball unless it's very obvious that he was first down. I can't go all the way ref ball with it, but I do think that was one of those situations where every ref kind of looked at each other. Give it to KC. Like not even in a way of these fuckers are getting ahead. Make sure Casey is more of get that shit to Casey.
Now what was the second?
Like nah. The second one was early in the game. I thought that was one. Wasn't that the one where it was where they thought somebody was down or some shit like that? I'm confusing it with another situation. I know, because this happens every single game with KC. God, I forgot the other part. I forgot the other one. Forget it. But yeah, I definitely seen that one with the first down. And I knew people were going to get mad at that. But the first time I seen it, I was like, oh, he got that. And then they showed it again. I was like, get that case.
Dude, even Romo was like, even Romo went from, I don't know if he got that. It's a little close.
And what got me was Romo read, I remember it was when they was coming back. It was when they came back. When Buffalo got the ball back, and Romo said it clear as day. Now you want to hold on to the ball for as long as you can right here, but you can't just go 3 and out really quick. So you got to go for a run. These niggas said no. Cowabunga it is. Check down. Missed opportunity. Here goes Tony. I told you. You only took off 30 seconds. And you're going to give it right back to Patrick Mahomes.
What happens when you have a quarterback that can just read shit?
That's what I'm saying. Now, I didn't hear. I heard everybody was going on Tom Brady. I know nothing about the situation.
Oh, what happened was
Tom Brady.
Brady was throwing shade at the New York Giants organization because Saquon was having a monster game against Washington.
Oh.
And he threw shade at. I mean, look, Giants. I'm going to say this: the New York Giants deserve every bit of shade and slander from their own fan base and from everybody else in the NFL, because you let Saquon Barkley go to your NFC East foe and eat. And it's funny because the Eagles technically really didn't need Saquon to fucking be good because they got some good running backs already. But Saquon's like an X factor. That is like, it was like it's a cheat. It's damn near a cheat code, honestly.
Saquon finally, like, all right, much like, and this is just a little just sprinkling in the NBA too. It's sort of like what we're seeing in Denver right now with Russell Westbrook, where it's like you found where you needed to be. You needed not even so much coming on the bench, because we're talking about the games that Russ started too, where it's like you and Joker got a rapport. You like in a weird way, Russ, you probably need to be in this situation from the beginning. You needed a big man underneath the goal you could just hand it off to. You needed not saying that he would have worked that way, but you needed a Joel Embiid. You needed a Wemby to throw to. You know what I mean? Just to elevate who you are. So in the sense of Saquon Barkley, you came to Philly, who already has a decent run blocking, and you already didn't have blockers for all your career, pretty much all your career. You haven't really had not to say good blockers, but quality blockers.
Yeah.
and now you got that in Philly. Not only that, you got a quarterback that can competently run behind you too. So you don't necessarily do it. And you got and you got a backup running back, and you have a potent offense to be in. This is a dream come true.
It's basically the team isn't asking you to put it on its back.
Exactly. This had to be the same feeling that Marshall Faulk got when he came over to the Rams, where it's like, we got that right there. We got this right here. All we need is a quarterback or whatever, and we can win everything. And
gotta be honest with you, I'm pretty sure that was kind of how Derrick Henry was when he went to the Ravens. Because the Ravens them losing in the playoffs aside,
that was very Ravens how they fell out the playoffs too. But yes.
Look, but the Ravens are kind of like the Eagles a little bit, and it's like you didn't need Derrick Henry because you have a good running back, but Derrick Henry, like the Ravens weren't like pressured to like use Derrick Henry and run him into the ground. It's like, no, we have other running backs. It's just we'll use you to like finish off games. But the Ravens didn't do that in the playoffs, which was very questionable why they didn't do that. But whatever. Is Josh Allen's window closed?
Is whose windows closed?
Is Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills windows closed for the Super Bowl?
You know what? That is actually a great question. I don't know if it is.
I want to say no because it's like early in the season I said, yeah, this is it right here. But at the same time, I'm like, no, because Kansas City, Ravens, and Buffalo might be the three that's going to rotate and they might have a chance kind of thing.
Let's just make it very clear. Josh ain't leaving Buffalo anytime soon. So let's get that out the way.
That's their franchise quarterback.
As long as he keeps this up, there will be a chance for Buffalo to make it from here on out. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I do question how long would this, at least the team that we know right now, how long would they still be viable? That is a good question. I don't know. Just be honest with you.
I mean, they are in the AFC East, so they're running that shit for a minute.
I'm gonna say that's like the only thing that is actually the good part about it. They really don't have to work that hard just off of the division they're in.
The Jets gonna scare them? Fuck out of here! Like
come on, what?
Patriots are gonna all of a sudden.
New England's gonna get revived because, by the way, we're the way of getting rid of Jared Mayo. Thank you for that. Now y'all can put the stooge in and let's see what he does. Because, oh, man, how dare you talk about Mike Vrabel? He's like, y'all about to get it. See, Boston is going up right its own butthole for thinking that they know everything about a sport just because they looked out in a draft and got somebody they didn't want in the first place. And he ended up becoming the greatest quarterback of all time. And now they trying to think we make champions. Oh, y'all don't. Shut up.
I will say this when it comes to Buffalo. Congratulations, Buffalo. You did the Lord's work taking out Denver. Like y'all did. Fuck
yes,
Denver.
I will give them that.
Fuck
Denver for that. Thank you. They got rid of them.
31-7. I was like, yo.
But you want to know there's something that I don't like about Denver right now? They're trapped in the curse that, not even a curse, but they're trapped in the loop. The same loop that Indianapolis was in when they had to deal with Tom Brady. I feel like this is going to be a thing for you for a while.
With Denver?
And no, not Denver. I mean, KC.
Oh,
KC and Buffalo. It's just going to be a thing for a while. And the way that CBS really, really loves whoever the AFC champion is. That's Sunday night. It's cold as hell. Let's watch the champion fight his rival this Sunday because it ain't Sunday unless we show this game. So, and that's the big ticket game. And the big ticket game right now, KC and Buffalo. That's what I was saying the whole weekend. I'm like, yes, Redskins and the Eagles. This is going to be interesting.
Battle of the NFC East.
Real game is what's going to happen later on. And KC won, man.
It was a good game. I mean, it was a heartbreaker for Buffalo because the Buffalo fan base was like, "Oh my God, we might do it," and it's just now we got Project Pat versus Jalen Hurts, and
you know who else said it might happen? That one dude that got bodied by Master Roshi in the Tournament of Power. I forgot who that was. It was I forgot. It was one of the animals. Yeah, that got bodied by Master Roshi. So yeah, everybody thinks like you big and bad. Speaking of which, Did you know, Dragon Ball fans, that Master Roshi knows how to start up Ultra Instinct, but he doesn't know how to do the technique? So much so that Whis was like,
See you, old man.
all right. What it makes me think, hey, if Roshi trained with Whis, Roshi, I ain't saying he's gonna be Goku, but Roshi had hands for niggas in his normal state. Could you imagine if he actually did some training? You know what? F that. I would like to see him do the KO Ken. I want to see what old man knowledge plus the knowledge of the KO. I want to see that. But anyway, fuck on that.
So we got Kansas. So we got the black quarterback showdown at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be.
Don't forget, it's gonna be Kendrick Lamar and SZA. And
Tyler
Creed.
Black
Creed is gonna be there too. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be there.
Black ass Super Bowl. So
you know what I like? And that one person who really needs life. Drake's not going to be there. It's football. Drake don't do football. What are you talking about?
Don't do football. That's NBA.
He's a hockey basketball person. Yo, but no, real talk. I'm saying this as a Drake fan. Hey, Drake, you're not allowed to go to Maple Leafs games no more.
Nah,
you can't go to the Maple Leafs. I think the reason why the Maple Leafs are losing is actually because of you. Because I'm gonna see you in that skybox and you doing this with the jersey. Maple Leafs don't do shit.
Go on ahead and take your ass over to Ottawa or something. I don't know.
Boy, you don't sit your ass down and wait until the Raptors play the next night.
But nah,
you can do that. You do that because remember, you had the famous speech. We together. We're together. This is us. I'm a man that Drake hyped up that whole championship. That's the part that makes me laugh with DeMar DeRozan. Like, man, fuck Drake. You saying that because when you laughed, they won. That's the only reason why you're saying that. I can understand why everybody likes Derrick Rose, and there's a legend about him. Why y'all niggas do this to DeMar DeRozan? Like, who he beat for y'all niggas to be saying this shit? He ain't, come on, man. He ain't Jameel Crawford. Stop that.
He really ain't.
Look, DeRozan's nice, but then y'all act like this nigga beat somebody. Like, who did he beat? Anyway, whatever. I'm done.
No, but my thing is this it's going to be interesting. How does Kansas City stop Saquon Barkley? And how do you stop AJ Brown? And how do you stop Jalen Hurts?
They could stop that offense. It is the question of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny with Saquon Barkley because out of the actual two, right, I know how he ran as a Giant. As an Eagle against the Cowboys, it was interesting because he didn't kill us, so I couldn't really.
He did enough.
Because it's kind of funny. It's usually when I get my best rating on certain players when they play against us, and it's really hard. Saquon is different this year. I think it's really his year, but at the same time, I think he should have went ahead and broke the record because I got a feeling he ain't going to win the Super Bowl. I got a feeling. Because KC, despite what you said, about what we all say, and I keep saying this, they know how to win football games, even if the refs help them or not. They know exactly what to do. Winners, you can hit the whole thing. Favoritism, sure, but they're winners.
Yeah.
They came out of all these games that they should have lost and actually won. And I'm not talking about the ones they won by 10 points and 3 points. Those are pathetic.
When they have to win, they can win.
Exactly. When they want to win, they want to win big. I don't think they're going to stop Saquon Barkley. I don't think there's going to be an all the way stop with them. I think they're going to have their trouble with him, but they're not going to shut him down.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now, see, it's different because we saw McCaffrey get shut down last year, but that was a little bit different. Didn't he get hurt or something like that? That was a little bit different.
Yeah, that was a little bit different.
Yeah, but whatever.
Also, it's 49. So.
This is a stronger that part. This is a stronger team than it were last year too.
Yeah,
this is a stronger Eagles team too. I think the Eagles.
Well,
should
somebody
love their
said
chances
somebody
going
said
into it, though.
somebody said their defensive effort is way better than it was last year because they're getting more
Even though,
takeaways.
and we were talking to our boy Brian the whole season with this. There's still a lot of this defense I don't like.
Yeah, it's basically ebbs and flows with them. It's like because even during the Washington game, when the defense was good, it was good. But there were other times where it's like you kind of slacked against Jaden Daniels, and I know he's elusive, but you could have got him in X, Y, and Z, or you could have toughed it out on defense in certain areas, and it's like, all right. Whatever.
And I feel the same, and that's the way I feel too.
Because you can't, and the thing is, you're playing against Kansas City, you got to play complete football, like top to bottom. There ain't no mistakes. Can't make any mistakes, and that's going to be interesting. And look, and if the Eagles win, cool. Saquon got his ring. Giants going to look even more stupider, and hey, it is what it is. And one more notch for the NFC East, being the best of the division.
If not, we're looking at probably one of the best, a stronger dynasty, at least in my opinion, than the Patriots. You're looking at the Chiefs being, this is a legit dynasty. And Andy Reid got them rolling, bro.
Honestly, I need to point this out. They still haven't utilized what's his face? I had a name. I keep forgetting his name.
What, Juju?
DeAndre Hopkins has been very quiet.
They still haven't. He's not even 1,000% in the offense like that.
If he comes into the game and starts blowing up, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, did he even fucking? I was like, did he? Because DeAndre Hopkins has been quiet. Like I think I had him in fantasy. He'll get at most, I think during the season at most he was getting like 15 yards, 20 yards here and there in games throughout the season, but he wasn't like blowing up like he was when he was down in Houston. So I'm sitting back like, so Kansas, are you going to use him at some point, or y'all just kind of like, we're fine and we don't really need him?
I think really that's the thing. I think he's drawn a lot of coverage to his side because you do not want him to break out, because he had a couple of breakouts this season already like that.
Because Juju's been kind of, I mean that might be why Juju has been doing really.
Yeah, Juju has been benefiting the way he did when he had Antonio Brown when he was on the Steelers. You have that number one that everybody's not paying attention. You can cook whoever's the number two, or even the nickel corner that's on you. You can do what you do to them, and then you got Worthy who is a bolt of lightning, and you got to deal with him, and he's coming off the slot. So.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
KC has every right to say no. We're about to get that third one. You know what I'm saying? They have every right to say that shit.
That Super Bowl is definitely going to be interesting. So real quick, have you been keeping up with the WNBA with this draft?
What's going on with the WNBA?
So Brittany Griner apparently is going to be in Atlanta.
Okay. She's getting traded to Atlanta.
She got traded to Atlanta, which everybody.
Well, that's gonna be Chris.
Okay,
shit. Man, Chris, as you know, that's gonna be the perfect place to be a young gay man. It's a great place to be down there. You know what I mean? Brittany need to get all that damn bass out of her voice. Like, I'm not hating, boo, but you don't talk like that. Stop that.
I mean,
you ever talk to one stud you've been talking to all your life, and it's like, nigga, where did any of that testosterone type bass come from? Stop that.
So
stop that. You were in the mirror for an hour this morning. Yeah. No, that's too loud. That sounds stupid.
So I have the trades in front of me.
I can do this anyway. Go ahead.
So Connecticut and Phoenix made a trade. Phoenix gets Alyssa Thomas and Taisha Harris. Connecticut gets Natasha Cloud, Rebecca Allen, and the number 12 pick in the 2025 draft. Which that's a fucking steal for Phoenix to get Alyssa Thomas. So I'm like,
Phoenix doesn't have. I forgot they all traded over. So wait a minute. Did Brittany get traded to Atlanta, or did she get released and signed by Atlanta?
I think she got released and signed by Atlanta, I believe.
I am wondering what the Sparks are going to do. The Sparks, knowing that they got
Kelsey Plum.
Here's the thing. The Sparks, to me, I am interested to see what they're going to, because there's a lot of talk that they really want to be the Lakers of the WNBA, but it's like y'all got the girls for it. Ain't none of y'all ain't got the wins for it. Y'all don't.
Last year's playoff that said as much. So
yeah, exactly. You see what I'm saying, right? So it pissed me off because I like Lexi and all the rest of them down there, but it's like, who the fuck y'all beating? That's all I'm like.
Who are you?
Like Seattle and Vegas got y'all.
Yeah, the Aces come off more. The Aces come off more of the Lakers than anybody else. So it's like, all right.
Aces at this point, who I feel like they're more of the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, that's not right. That's not right. I don't feel like they are. I don't know. The Aces are the Aces. I will say that. I may mean that actually. I'm not even trying to joke on that. More than a lot of like certain
old woman Popovich.
Certain WNBA teams actually have their own identity. Like I feel like the Storm, I feel like the Sun and Vegas got their own identity because they don't have to go against any men's teams. Yeah. You know what I mean? Connecticut ain't got to go against nobody and all the rest of that. Well,
it's up for college basketball.
Well, that's actually the perfect breeding ground for that shit because come on, Connecticut's women's basketball is the shit. So you know what I'm saying? So.
I mean, the Spurs
they kind of benefit off that. Anyway.
I mean, the Spurs getting Kelsey Plum is actually a big deal. I mean, it is kind of like, oh shit, you got Kelsey Plum, all right, shit. But then the Storm get Lee Uruel, and then the Aces got Jewel Lloyd.
Wait a minute, you got who?
Jewel Lloyd.
Oh, okay, I know who that is.
But it was a big deal because it was kind of like, oh shit, like they really shaking the table.
They're trying to shake the table, like I said, because like I said, like certain teams, like I will say this: all the big city teams need to be making moves because now you got more eyes on the WNBA. Now is the time to actually start getting superstars to your cities.
Yep.
Even if you're like I feel like Chicago, DC, New York. Well, New York already proved it this season. And all the big coastal teams with a big market, they need to be moving.
Oh yeah,
like I knew the Mercury because I knew Mercury was going to do the same shit. I knew Phoenix was going to do that shit because they get to share in that little LA corridor right.
That's on top of the two expansion teams that came out that actually got.
I forgot they did
Oakland. Yeah, I think it's Oakland and what the fuck was the other team? Was it Canada? Is it a Canadian team?
It's Toronto. It's the Toronto team.
Yeah, Toronto. It's Toronto and Oakland.
I forgot what they call themselves. No, I'm thinking of the G League team. No, I'm thinking of the G League team. Don't get me on that. I'm thinking of the men's G League team that's in Toronto.
Okay, I got it. Golden State Valkyries. Yeah, Golden State Valkyries. And Dallas Wings.
Oh, okay. So Dallas is a new team.
Yeah, Dallas Wings and Golden State. Yeah, Dallas Wings and Golden State.
I thought Toronto was getting one.
I think Toronto is coming, so they'd be on the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I could have sworn they either already had Toronto or it was coming. I don't know, whatever.
But either which way, I mean, but you're right though. The WNBA did have to kind of take a page from the NBA and be like, "Yo, can we get some big names in our cities?" And boom.
They're gonna have like at this point, especially with, like I said, and this is going to be really interesting. What's going to happen? How are these girls going to get marketed? How they're going to be? Are they going to still have the same? Is it going to have the same?
Caitlin Clark did pass on the 3-point contest in the NBA All-Star game, so she can concentrate on the WNBA All-Star game, which is a good thing.
Good.
Now it puts a lot of focus on the WNBA All-Star game and their games. Cool.
Good.
That works.
Do that. Yes. Do that. And if, and if you want to invite some men to play in the games, please do. I say they should. Make sure it's something like they. Something came out where they asked my girl, what's her name? God, I'm blanking on her right now. Homegirl from the Aces.
Asia.
God, Asia, yeah. They asked Asia, who can you beat in the NBA? And she was like, I could beat a couple of niggas in the NBA. And Jeff Teague said what I was thinking. You ain't beating nobody. and people was getting really upset. And I'm mad that I had to be a man about this. I was like, you know what? Let's keep it to your height. Who can you beat that is, and I looked it up, 6'4". Ooh, Chris, I went through just off of the two. I went to 2K's rating system. Who's 6'4", what their heights is. She's getting 8 by every single one.
Just give me some names.
Hold on. Now I gotta look it up, man. Now you
because my thing is this: it's like I feel she could beat some, but it'll probably be somebody that's riding the bench. Maybe I can't name any NBA like all-star athlete that's like, you know what I'm saying. So it's like, who you really beating?
Oh dang! Yeah, dang! It kept when I looked it up. All right, let's just keep it up. All right, number one, and I'm keeping it to her height, 6'4".
Yeah.
Ant eating her. Derek White eating her up.
Oh.
Bradley Beal destroying her. Jamal Murray gonna carve her. Jalen Green beat her. Josh Hart, they brought up Josh Hart. Josh Hart was like, she ain't beating me. No, she's not. Norman Powell. She ain't beating Norman Powell. Jordan Poole. Jordan's a whole bucket. You not beating Jordan Poole. Russell Westbrook. Hall of Famer. No. Jaden Ivey. You ain't beating Ivey either. Ivey hurt right now. You ain't beating Ivey right now. Malcolm Bogdan. Bogdan probably will lose, but I got money on him. Malik Beasley gonna beat her. Grayson Allen. Grayson will eat her alive. Dog, I don't have to go through this list. I was laughing like I don't know what. It sucks.
I mean, I appreciate the confidence. I mean, you go.
Yeah, I appreciate it too. But you play like you're a power forward. You're a power forward at your height. But you're playing dudes who play guard. So you know what they're gonna know how to do? Boom, boom, boom. You. That's all. Just they're going 2-step around you. Or in the case of Jordan Poole, I don't feel like doing this shit. Stay right here.
I mean,
I don't feel like moving. So whatever, man. I will say this though. I always say that there are some women in WNBA they can beat anybody. I think some of these girls can beat. It'd be surprising of the men that they actually can beat. You know what I mean? Like I can see her losing to every man on that list, but then going against a couple of 6'6" niggas and she actually wins. You know what I mean? So I'm not throwing away her skill. She's a freaking all-star. She's a world-class athlete. But let's bring it the fuck in.
What's the name of that? What's the name of that chick that was like the center, the big tall light-skinned chick?
Brittany? What, Brittany? Not Brittany.
No, not Brittany. The other chick. She's like tall, light-skinned. She's a little big.
Is that Liz Cambridge?
Yeah, Liz Cambridge. Everybody was like, "Oh, she's like Shaq." And I'm like, really?
Beating nobody. She's 6'8". She ain't.
But my thing was this: when I watched her, she's okay, but I just felt she got by because of her height, and she can just take advantage there on other chicks. Because who's gonna really fucking stop her? Like
exactly. I was thinking about myself. Like I see the way she played, Chris. I was like, yo.
It's like Cheryl Miller. It's like Cheryl Miller bullying Reggie Miller. It's like, of course Cheryl Miller's gonna bully Reggie Miller. She's taller than the dude. Like, what the fuck? Like, come on.
I will say this. Now somebody said, who like you trying to tell me there's somebody that's Liz's height that can beat her? Yeah, who? LeBron James.
LeBron just eating her for dinner.
Boy, like, LeBron gonna hit her with that lazy joke. You know
dude, AD with a broken leg can beat Liz Cambridge.
AD doing this on his way down the court is gonna beat her. AD, you know who Liz can beat? You don't want not Chris. Do you want to know who I think can lose to Liz?
Who? Oh, of course.
Okay, this is a good segue.
Aren't the 76ers?
That's a lot of fucking games. That is a lot of games.
Isn't he under investigation? 76ers organization under investigation because of possible he shouldn't have been sitting out multiple games for this long and kind of shit.
Staticky as hell, man. I can't tell that. I would say that you're coming in staticky.
Oh yeah,
but no,
446 games played, 400 games on the Knicks. Holy shit! Like, what are we doing? That's crazy.
Yeah, and I keep on telling y'all, it's privilege. I think the 76ers realize he's the only chance the 76ers got. And he could do whatever he wants there. That's in the story for it to me, man. And the fact that he's missed so many games like that, this is ridiculous. I say this. I don't want him. He better not win an award from here on out unless he's going to play.
I mean, it's making that MVP over Joker look real stupid at this point.
It is. It is. And I feel bad that I supported that shit too, because it's like, yo, Joel, you stink. Like, not as a player. I think he's actually a very good scorer. The 15 points that you did effortlessly in the Olympics told me if you want to play, you can play.
Thank you.
But at the same time, he is so glass house right now and lashing out at everybody and not taking it well at all. Here's what I think. We're so used to saying because there's nobody fighting and throwing fists, because Ron Artest doesn't live in the NBA no more, because Rick Mahorn is not grabbing a rebound, but instead grabbing men by their private parts and yanking them down when they're midair. We like to say the NBA is soft. Shut up. I think where the NBA where the softness actually comes in is something that we don't specify, but I think everybody would agree. There's a lot of guys that are soft here, Chris. Just plain and simple. It ain't your body because you're a world-class athlete. It ain't the way you play. No, it's mentally. A lot of these guys in the NBA are mentally soft. And that comes from not having a rough background like we have a lot of
you know what it is?
No, see, yes, it comes from coaching. Yes, it comes from the organization. It comes from different places.
No, but
there's not one place to really blame
I think
it on.
I feel the main factor with that. Is there's no drive for some of these players to keep playing, right? Like there's no like. I'm not saying ball is life kind of thing, but there's no ball is life thing like the Jordan and Kobe brand of like, yo, this is fucking basketball. I want to be the fucking best kind of.
Unfortunately, those guys that get to that point are not only people that get to that point are guys that get to like their 7th year in the league and they tasted what victory tastes like. You know what feels like to go deep in the playoffs is and all the rest of that. Those guys, they all have that drive. It's everybody outside of that bubble that's just, man, it's a wonderful day to be in the NBA. My job is not under threat.
It's that kind of thing. Because it's like you don't want to say they're soft, but it's like, bro, my man in the G League will probably fucking murder you right now because he really wants to fucking play in the NBA, and you kind of like,
and then there's the guys that are playing for the Kings, playing for the Wizards, playing for the Blazers. There are some guys on those teams that's like, give me 2 seconds. I'm killing everybody. Give me what I need. I will become the monster you need. It's hard to find out who those guys are, to be honest with you.
If there's anything that I have taken away from this Wizards rebuilding year, is that the Wizards have players that potentially could put the Wizards in a position of going back into the playoffs. And it's not going to be focused solely on Jordan Poole. It's other players that have stepped the fuck up. And it's like, oh shit, they can score 20.
There's a lot like that. This is weird feeling how the Wizards stink. Yeah, we stink. But there's a lot
of 8-36. Like, yeah. Like,
but it makes me feel like that weird year where we had Juwan Howard, Chris Webber, Rasheed Wallace, and like one other person.
Stackhouse? Was it Stackhouse?
No, it wasn't Stackhouse. It wasn't Stackhouse. I think it was like I think Mitch Richmond was on the team.
Yeah, Mitch Richmond. Jesus Christ, Mitch Richmond.
God, yeah, Mitch was on the team. But at the same time, it's like even with that, we can see what the potential is because you can see them trying to grow and grow and grow. It's hard, man. Like I feel bad for Cade Cunningham, who's on Detroit. He's showing out this year, but Detroit's still not there yet.
Detroit is playing for.
It's hard to bring him up. You know what I mean?
Detroit is in playing game status.
Oh yeah, they're in playing game status.
So they've improved, but you remember it took years for Detroit to get.
It took a while. That's why I say I feel bad for Cade Cunningham, but Cade Cunningham, I guarantee you, they ain't a weak bone in that boy's body because he be getting a losing season since he walked in the league, and now that he's actually gotten to the point where he got drive and all that, it's just hard to really cracking for some guys to be more than what they are. If you're on a bad team, you're going to have bad team habits. You know what I mean? Like, here's the funny thing. Jordan Poole got a ring. You can't fucking tell by the way he acted on that fucking court.
I mean, other than recently him saying that he should be on the All-Star team. And I'm like, Jordan, sit down.
There's wanting to be and then showing it, son. Like Jordan, I feel like Jordan needed to be humbled like this, and he even to admit it to an extent he needed to be, because yeah, you went from being on a superstar team on Michigan to going to the fucking Warriors
Yeah. And
when they
don't
were still pumping. So yeah, so him coming to the Wizards was like, I needed it.
yeah, I mean, look. When he had
I need
when
to
they
lose.
when
I
they
need to
put
lose for a while.
look when they took him off the starting lineup and he's riding the bench now. He's coming off the bench. He's been coming off the bench now. I feel that was a humbling moment for him where he was like, all right, you know what? Yeah, like I was full of myself, but you know what? Yeah.
It was twofold for me because I also think he realized maybe I do need to come off the bench. And this is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Manu Ginobili came off the bench, nigga. Fucking Lou Williams came off the bench. She's like, yo, there have been plenty of superstars who were 6 men that came off the bench. And I'll be real with you. If Jordan gets traded over to a New York, to a LA, to one of these teams like that, dog, have him come off the bench and you ain't got to worry about nothing. There's a lot of Iguodala not in your game, but you could be another Iguodala type of dude, man, just to come off the bench and just dominate. So you have it in you.
So D, maybe you can explain it better. What the fuck is up with this Jimmy Butler thing? I know he's been wanting to get traded, but like, what led to them basically indefinitely spinning his ass, pretty much?
He's been spitting on what is called heat culture, which is like showing up, not partying, doing certain things, and all the rest of that. The heat culture is like this weird way of Heat fans trying to make themselves feel bigger than what they are. It's really the Pat Riley philosophy of basketball. A lot of it I actually agree with, but at the same time, there's a lot of, hey, Pat, it's not 1991 no more, bro.
Yeah, from what I know, the Miami Heat culture is basically disciplined basketball, essentially.
Which, again, I am not against that.
Oh, yeah.
I am not against that. I don't think a lot of players are, but live with it.
Yeah.
Live with it and be a player like Jimmy Butler. And Jimmy, I think really what it is, Jimmy's just done. He really wants to win a championship. So when him and Pat started getting into it, started yakking back and forth and all the rest of that, and Jimmy is the type of player that's going to show his ass because I can, because I'm tired of y'all. I'm gonna show y'all who I really am. There you go.
Yeah.
And yeah, it sucks for the organization that they got to do it. I don't know who's going to pick him up. I would love to see Jimmy go to the Bucks.
Somebody said Golden State might be in the mix.
I think he'll be okay going to Golden State. I don't think they're going to win anything.
I mean, CP3 isn't exactly blowing up at Golden State, so
nah. No. Remember, he got traded. Remember?
Oh yeah. Damn, I don't know why I'm thinking that.
Last season, no worry, it's not a big deal. They can't go to Dallas. Dallas would have been good, but they got Clay, and Dallas, they hurt. They're kind of powerful this year. I would like him to go to the Lakers, but I don't know what the Lakers would have to give up to get him.
That's
and I don't think the Lakers are willing.
That's chaos. That's chaos.
I know.
Walk into that room, like, you kidding me?
I got a feeling that, and I also, because a part of me also think that LeBron has been waiting for Jimmy Butler to be in his locker room with him, just like, I'm down for the shits. You down for the shits? Like, let's do this shit.
That might make me be like, I ain't gonna be a Laker fan, but I'd be like, this is a very interesting mix here.
I really think Jimmy being on the Lakers would be deadly, but at the same time, I feel like that will inevitably blow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It won't go the way we want. Either he's not in the flow of the offense. Maybe at the worst, him and LeBron don't get along with each other. It could be anything, man. So I'm not 1,000% sold on he should go to the Lakers.
Yeah.
I stand by what I said. I think the Bucks is probably his best place.
Yeah.
Because I think he's willing to, hey, where you want me at, Giannis? Over here? So what you doing? You got all that? Good. I got everything else.
See, shot in the arm to the Bucks, and also, Jimmy gonna look at Darvin Ham and fucking what's his face and be like, hey,
Doc, I ain't doing
Doc
none of
be
that
like,
shit.
I ain't doing none of that shit. Doc, you already know what my vibe is. Don't do that shit. Doc.
Actually, that's probably the reason why he don't want to go.
I deal with Doc and Darvin. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Jimmy, And I told you we ain't gonna do that here. Well, nigga, guess what, nigga?
I'm doing it
Guess
anyway.
what? Well, guess what? I'm dropping my 26, and then I'm sitting down. Jimmy will score 26 in a row on purpose and sit down at the most crucial part of the game to prove a point. Jimmy's probably one of the few players that I've seen that, bet is a threat from him because he will actually do it. And it actually, I told you. I don't know what's worse though. Like dealing with that is one thing, but when you look at the Clippers and the situation that they're in right now, they're going to be giving up. I don't know what they're going to have to give up, but their future is pretty much bleak.
The Clippers always been weird to me because
the Harden trade killed him, man. The Harden trade killed him. So
the Clippers have always been weird to me because it's like they have the players, but it's just like between Kawhi's injuries, him being Mr. Glass, basically.
And he's going to be out for an extended period of time. Basically, where they at, Chris?
It's a lot of load management happening with the Clippers at this point.
And the worst part about it is the Clippers kind of got no choice but to stay with Kawhi because he's the only chance they got because they ain't got nothing else to give or nothing else to gain from anybody.
They're in the mix of the
They're
playoffs.
kind of untrade, and it's the worst. That's the worst thing to be when you're in a position like the Clippers where you're not quite good and you're not quite great, and you have to make a trade to make yourself better. And you have this. You have goose egg to give or to receive. No one could trade with you unless you're going to dismantle every single brick on your house. You can't. Nobody's going to trade with you. They're in a shitty position,
you
man.
Give up Norman Powell. You gotta give up Harden. You gotta give up fucking PJ Tucker. You gotta give
all
up
of that. You're going to have to disassemble all of that shit, man. And some of them players, you're still going to have to pay them even if you trade them. So
I think Kawhi and James are two that if they went to another team, the Clippers would be on the hook for a certain amount of money.
I think they would be. I forgot who would be, but it doesn't really matter. Like I said, they're not going to trade them away. You trade them away, you trade away your only chances of even doing something in the playoffs.
Now you'd be at the bottom of the barrel at the Western Conference at that point. So
yep.
I mean, so you know, it is what it is. But D, I love the pictures that you put up of Hamilton and Ferrari.
You know what I had the picture up here. I thought I did. No, I don't. Wow, I thought I had it. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton is finally into Ferrari. He hopped in the Ferrari, drove around there, testing ground and all the rest of that shit. And yeah, there's a lot of excitement amongst the Ferrari fans, especially Ferrari fans. It's weird to see a crowd full of Italians praise a black person, even though I've seen soccer. And I've seen that happen before. It's still weird to me seeing a bunch of Italians praising a black guy like that. It's just weird to me. But oh yeah, exactly. Like for me, is what gets me is that Lewis not only showed up in stylish fashion because he knew all of F1 and some of the sports world was looking at him. This is it's a huge opportunity, man. And he really likes he has to get used to the new car he's in. It's a different type of engine. And I know a lot of people are like, what's the difference with the engines? That's a new discipline you got to learn. And a lot of people don't know that when you because the one thing that a lot of people really didn't know, Lewis has been dealing with Mercedes powertrains ever since he came into F1. Even when he was on McLaren, before he went to Mercedes, they had a Mercedes engine. So he's always dealt with a Mercedes engine. Now he's under Ferrari. So like I said, it's a whole different other thing and all the rest of that. I hope that they're open to actually take advice from him and try to figure out how to make it better and all the rest of that. Everybody's already making a deal. Who's better, him or Charles Leclerc? Well, duh, he is. But no, who's the leader? And it turns into your boy. It turns to the door and Star-Lord talking to each other. I'm the captain.
Of course,
yeah, you are. You of course. No, I love that. Oh, God, Chris, I'm not a fan of that. That movie, I'm okay with it. I like Endgame a lot better, but that was my favorite scene.
Of course.
And that last, of course, and he nodded. I was like, "Hey, yo, Thor, just kill him. Just go ahead, and just kill him."
Real talk.
I was actually with Drax. I want to see y'all fight to the death.
Nah. Here's what I knew it was over. Real quick. Here's what I knew it was over. When you saw fucking Gamora admiring the muscles on Thor, like, God damn, this motherfucker Stank. And Star-Lord, like, the fuck? Like, right here.
Who's that, Manson? Who's that, Manson? She was like, yes, fight with knives or something like that. I was like, yo. That's funny. That's funny. That's actually, but yeah, but that's what's going on. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, in the MLB side, famous player, Ichiro Suzuki, I laughed when he asked, "Hey, so who's the one guy that didn't vote?" I just want to talk.
I just want to talk. I just want to see who he is.
I
just want to have a manly talk with the man. Ichiro had something very special happen to him. He almost got 100% in. Didn't happen because there's one writer there's one writer who
xenophobic.
I have a feeling it wasn't racially based at all or nothing. It was more of all right. I'm trying to give my only excuse where it was. I thought we was all going to put him in next year. I thought what's the name was going to go in this year. Like, I feel like he was the only one that didn't get the email that we're going to give Ichiro 100%. But also another part of me thinks he's like, not that he's some hating ass person, just like it isn't your time yet. I feel it's that more than anything else. And hey, yo, man, and it's kind of funny. I am always off and on when it comes to Stephen A. Smith, but he was 1,000% right. This is the reason why a lot of people hate baseball. It's ish like this.
Yeah.
It's little stuff like this. The journalists have made it so bad in like baseball gripes. Where we stop caring about a lot of stuff.
I mean, because the journalist is the reason why people like Barry Bonds isn't in. Like, take the steroids off the table for a second. Isn't it the journalists are pretty much the reason why Barry Bonds pretty much isn't in the Hall of Fame, essentially?
Yes, it is. It's a 50-50 thing too, because what I hear about it is a lot of people want him in just to get him in, just to get it over with, and not even to make a political statement about it. You know what I mean? The other half really truly believes in, no, you tainted the sport, and I can't get too mad at them for thinking that, but at the same time, it's like, shut up. This is baseball. The leaders of, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. Let him in. Barry Bonds, even if you take out the steroids,
still killing people.
Still leads the leagues in getting walked, still lead the league in hits. He's one of the greatest hitters of all time. He's, like I said, and the fact, like, if you take the home runs out, he's still a phenomenal player. He's still on the level of his godfather, Willie Mays.
Mm-hmm.
He's still on his grind. Do you know how big of a deal that is to me? You are freaking Willie Mays. You are baseball, period. And they won't let you in because you did steroids for 5.5 seasons. Did it make them better? No. San Fran did make it to the World Series, so edge is an edge. But still, Barry Bonds is already a tremendous superstar, man. So yeah, it's stuff like that. It's stuff like that, and them talking about the big issue right now, guys flipping their bats after they make a home run. If you don't get out my face, I
don't like this.
Here's the thing. There's a lot in baseball when it comes to tradition I can get behind. Like, at the end of the game, everybody daps each other up. Everybody take their hat off at a certain moment. Even when it comes to etiquette on standing on the base and stuff like that. Even down to, I respect this one. Don't crowd that base. Don't crowd the base, or the pitcher gonna be throwing some heat right across your face. Like, I respect a lot of traditions, but some of it is just no. What white psychopath told you to like when it comes to the bat flip? I know that's a pitcher thing, and as much as I love pitchers, shut up. He hit your fat fastball. Now you get to see throw that joke in the air and run around the bases. And if he stares you the whole time, go ahead, be a man. Be a man and throw that 90 mile at his head like I know you is because you a bitch. Like I said, I love and hate baseball at the same time. I really do. Speaking of which, Chris, when I was playing baseball the other day, I noticed that the batter was crowding the base. And it was so funny. My son was watching me. I was like, He's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I need this nigga to get off my base. And I put the reticule right there. He ducked the ball. He's like, damn, you threw it right to him. I like this. I'm going to throw another one at him. Yeah, you off the base. Get off my base.
My base right now.
Look. I'm look, dog. As a dude that was a catcher, I respect that thing. No, get this nigga off the base, man. He's like this. I'll be like this. Yeah, it went right by your head, nigga. Move.
We didn't. I should have mentioned this when we were talking about the NBA. But so Inside the NBA got saved. They got picked up by ESPN.
I heard about that. That's going to be
great. Fantastic.
You know what that is? That's what we heard about RDC World getting bought out by some white folks.
Breaking news.
I will say this. This is going to be interesting. How will the show be produced now that it's moving over to ESPN? Because to me, ESPN has made everything dry. So, I mean, are you going to make?
Is it possible? Are you going to defang Charles Barkley to where he can't say crazy shit anymore? Because it's funny as hell. So you're going to be like, hey, Charles, you can't say this.
It's ESPN. They're going to lean into it.
Okay. I mean, that's what makes it funny, to be honest. But it's like,
what makes this show work is that they're allowed to talk about basketball a little more than any other analyst that we get. Like Fox Sports and ESPN, they're only going to get so deep with basketball. Yeah, Inside NBA don't get too far, but they at least dig a little bit deeper into the reason of why certain things don't work and all that. Even Charles with his throwing everybody under the bus talking speech every now and then, it's like, no, you can't make that win if you don't have X, Y. And Charles be right. Like, no, you can't win that. The reason why this show works is because they all know how to work with each other. And Ernie Johnson ain't never left CBS, the CBS umbrella. So this is weird to me. You know what I mean? So this is going to be weird as far as how they're going to do it. But yeah, I'm glad it got saved a little bit, even though, again, all the best basketball stuff is online. Watching Gilbert, watching Steven Jackson and Mike Barnes, watching Jeff Teague. I like Jeff Teague's show. He's pretty good. Like, watching them niggas, they analyze basketball, and I actually like the way they do it. Way better. Way better. I think Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes is a little bit too old school for me, but here's the thing. I grew up with y'all type of basketball, so I like y'all.
Look. Here's how old school it was. When he sat there and talked about how fucking Mitch Richmond. Mitch Richmond. No. Yeah, it was Mitch Richmond. When he was like, yeah, Mitch told me, it's very easy to score 20 points. Just score 5 per quarter. And I was like, that feels very old school. Yeah, of course, that makes sense. Because you can score 5 points doing blah, blah, blah. But I was like, damn, you really can average 20 points a game doing it that way. And I'm like,
yeah, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that much moving. Like, some of y'all niggas moving too hard.
I think he said something like that too.
That was like Mitch. That sounded like something Mitch would do. Because even when I was listening to dude that graduated from my school, Walt Williams was talking about it when he used to do the play-by-play for the Wizards. It was something that went down. It was during Bradley Beal and John Wall's era. Something went down where he was like, you're really doing too much. What you can do is break that up in like 5s. And really, like, he said something similar to the same thing where it was like, come on, nigga, ain't nobody going to do that in a running gun type of offense. What are you talking about? It was one of those old school things where it's like, nah, so you're running up and down too fast. What you need to do.
Is just, pace yourself. Also be prepared, folks. Reggie Miller is...
Come on now. Y'all taking too many threes.
Speaking of threes, brace yourself, folks. Reggie Miller is now full-time NBA analyst for NBC. Yeah, there's a contingent of people online that hate the fuck out of Reggie Miller.
NBC?
Yeah, NBC. NBA on NBC.
A lot of people. Are they really bringing that back?
I don't know. I'm assuming they are.
Are we really bringing back the NBA on NBC?
Apparently.
We'll see. We'll see. And yeah, a lot of people hate Reggie Miller. I don't hate Reggie Miller, but I know a lot of people that do.
Oh, yeah, I mean, because it's just like they hate his commentary because it's like you ain't like your sister on commentary, and I'm like, it's Reggie Don's like he ain't harming nobody. Come on.
Also, when the last time you heard Cheryl on anything, my nigga? Jesus.
I know. Hey, people on social media
like years ago.
People on social media space be getting weird. It's like y'all got some really weird hate for people that really ain't doing you any harm. Like, god damn, like, chill. That's serious.
True.
Oh man, but yeah, I think next episode we can dive deep into college basketball because 'tis the season for college basketball. And actually dive into hockey because yeah, hockey season. It's upon us. Well, it's been upon us for a while, but the Caps are doing pretty fucking good.
That being said, Alex Ovechkin is going to annihilate that record from Gretzky. Because while I think he will retire at the end of this season, I think he's going to play one more season and just eradicate that freak.
Given that they are number one in the East at this stage, Stanley Cup.
Let's hope we go back to what you just said. Let us hope what you just said.
Because Overcheck playing as good as he is, lights out at this moment. I'm like, Alex knows something we don't.
And nigga killing it, man. I do. And of course, when we get back, we were going to be talking about the Royal Rumble. And all I can say is this right now. I got the sick feeling that right? I think it is this weekend. Yes, it is.
Okay.
And I got this sick feeling that they're going to let CM Punk win.
I don't know, man. One Mr. John Cena might say something about it.
I hope it is. You know what? Look. There's a couple of things. WWE. I agree with who is it? I agree with Jim Cornette. They're going to be farting through silk because they could go with any one of these pathways and it will be money. As much as I'm not for it to be in Cody and CM Punk, that'd be kind of stupid not to do it. You'd be kind of stupid not to do that.
Look, Cody and KO are going at it for the Undisputed and the Winged Eagle Championship and shit. I'm like, all right, that's interesting.
I love how they made that a whole thing.
But also, and I think this is going to be a good ass match. I know, especially for the marks, DIY and Motor City Machine Guns are going to be in a best 2 out of 3 fucking match at the Royal Rumble. That could be good. That's going to be fucking.
That's going to be a good match. That's going to be a wrestling match.
Wrestling.
That's going to be one of them matches.
The marks are going to be like, oh my god, yes. I'm like, exactly.
I fully expect to see Jordan Grace show up at the Rumble. She's going to get signed by WWE.
Yeah, didn't they announce TNA and WWE got a little partnership?
Yep. So far, TNA and Pro Wrestling Noah are the 2 partners that WWE have right now.
Which is crazy.
The only one that they're really willing to put on TV like that will be the TNA people.
Oh, yeah.
Makes the most sense because you can put them over way easier than Japanese talent. On top of that, also being said, do not be surprised if Omos shows up for the Royal Rumble because Omos just gave his belt back to his partner over in Noah, saying that I'm coming back, but I'm leaving for a little bit. I'm like, he's going to be in the Rumble, or they got a plan for him to stay in America for a while. I don't know the whole deal behind that.
I was going to say look out for Ziggler because he just dropped the belt, but then I forgot Ziggler is going to be on TNA this week, so I'm like, I don't know if they're going to bring him in.
Dolph showing up for the Royal Rumble will be fun, but I don't think he'll actually show up for it.
Okay. I thought he would for a minute, and
I think he should. The bigger question is this: when it comes to the TNA talent, there's Josh Alexander. If you've never seen Josh Alexander wrestle, people think of a smaller, more mat-based version of Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
And Josh Alexander is fucking awesome. He's really good. He just got released out of his TNA contract. There's speculation that he's going to get signed by WWE? I don't think he will. There's good because I think he's going to go like chill for a little bit and then go in. But we don't know what's going on.
And also we got Pentagram. He is in WWE.
Pentagram, nigga.
Oh,
Pentagram.
I say pentagram.
No, just say Penta. Just say
Penta. Penta. I don't know why I'm saying pentagram. Penta.
Pentagram.
Penta, who had a really good match, really good match against Chad Gable. Like that was a really good debut.
Him and Pete Dunne had one the following week, and he got to lay a little bit harder hits because Pete Dunne can take that shit.
What are you thinking of WWE on Netflix so far?
I haven't really watched it on Netflix. I have no opinion.
Yeah, I can tell the production values is definitely like
it's different.
It's different.
It's
for sure.
different. I will give it that.
They can cuss because it's Netflix. That's what everybody's like. Oh my god, they're cussing, and I'm like, really, guy? Sure.
Yeah, y'all was that pressed to hear the word shit. Come on, man, get over it, man. But whatever. Wrestling fans are going to be wrestling fans. I will say this. I don't know who's going to win on the women's side. If anybody's
that's
gonna
a
say
wild
no,
card.
If anybody's gonna say it, no, Jade is out for a good minute, and I am going to give my feelings on Jade because we're a month away from hearing these true feelings on Jade. Is it going to be a long rant? No, and that's the problem.
I mean,
so,
look. You got the women's US belt with Chelsea Green. Which
I'm still mad that Chelsea didn't lose it the very following day, but whatever.
You got Lyra Valkyrie, who is the women's Intercontinental champ.
Yeah, that was an okay match. Man. Like everybody like Lyra. I don't like Lyra like that, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, that was good.
And finally, when it comes to the Rumble, Roman Reigns. A lot of people's questioning where Roman Reigns is going to fall in all of this. I think he's going to be in a Rumble. That's where the part of farting through silk comes in, because you can really stick with Gunther and Seth.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the wild card that is Roman because he has nothing to do. You have John Cena who's going to be there and he's on his last tour, so it's going to be interesting where John goes with any of his shit. It's going to be funny to see that bald spot in his head, but whatever. Yeah, and then of course The Rock showing up.
Because of course he does.
But a lot of people are speculating that they really are going to do Roman versus The Rock, which is weird. Well, not weird. It's just that you're going to have to, if you're going to put a storyline to it, you better start up right after the Royal Rumble.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Start it immediately, especially if your whole angle, which I know is going to be, is, hey, you cost me my fucking belt last year kind of shit, which I guarantee.
I don't think you're the real head of the family or some bull crap like that. I don't know.
Barks and Samoan, I guess. I don't fucking know. All right.
And I stand by what I said. All the Samoans except The Rock and Nia Jax all say the N-word a lot.
Well, Tamia Snuka every once in a while.
Tamia don't say nigga. She don't say nigga. She don't.
She has the look that she says nigga.
She has the look where she said it in the past, but she only got that pass because her boyfriend was black, and now she's like really uncomfortable of using it. Somebody said, our boy Quincy said, nah, Nia does say the N-word. She just uses the hard R on it.
Exactly. She hard R, and it's like, nah, you kind of.
I feel that The Rock is The Rock never used it because he never really. It's that interesting spot, man, of being half black that I think he falls in where he really doesn't feel right saying it.
But here's the thing. But at the same time, it's not that thing that some black people do where they get weird about not saying it, where it's like they make it their personality thing. Like, I've never said the N-word, and I'm like, cool, dude. Like, what,
I just got to feel The Rock never felt comfortable.
No, I don't blame him. Look, I don't blame him whatsoever on that.
Like somebody in their past heard the N-word and saw yellow skin. You can't say that, and that just threw him off.
Hey, D, real talk. My canon, head canon for that. You know who told him that?
Who?
Booker T.
Now, when you last time you can say nigga? I don't think you can say that, man. What was your daddy? Oh, your daddy was Rocky Johnson. See, you can't. That black man laugh. You got.
Booker
was. You can say it, man. You can say it. that dude, you know that.
Booker and him had that conversation after.
Booker looked like he says nigga all the time though.
Come on, dude. Booker said, dude, take that fucking promo off the side. He said nigga so many times in WCW, especially in the last 2 years when bullshit was going down. Like, Nick, what is going on?
Man, nigga, I ain't gonna show him and Stevie said nigga all the time in that locker room, man. You know they
Stevie stares at nigga. All right, come on, dude.
Oh man, that's
but nah, Royal Rumble is gonna be great. I always enjoy that, and it's gonna be great. Yeah. So that's it for Working Title this week. Hope you guys enjoy. I may, funny enough, I might do a live stream of the Royal Rumble, just commentating, whatever and stuff. Watching it.
You know what?
Thinking about it.
If I can't get on that, I probably won't. Oh man, this is what happens when your computer is going to be your source of the run.
Or you do it on the phone. Because I have my laptop on me, and
I don't know. I'll figure it out. If you're going to be on, I'll figure it out. I'll try to be on there.
All right. Nah, because me and Duke, when we did it a couple of years ago, we had fun with that shit. Because it was me, Duke. I think Denzel might have came in. Maybe, I don't know.
I remember Denzel being on
there. Yeah. But that was fun. That was fun to do. Just kind of just watching it and just experiencing it and stuff. It's like, all right, that was fun. So we definitely could try for that and stuff. But yeah. That's Working Title Sports this week. Hope you guys watched the Pro Bowl this weekend too, on top of the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, because your
Flag football
support. They need support too. Speaking of, and we'll also when we get into it, we got to talk about the disaster that is. What type of all-star game is this for the NBA? So,
bro,
yeah, we'll talk about that when we talk about that. But anyway, yeah, peace. Program.